as always, Alamogordo Tigers head football coach A.J. Cisco joins us. Coach, how are you?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you having me.
And getting into another district game this week, but we'll look back at last week. And, I think you said going into it, the big thing against Centennial was getting off the field on third down. Really, it was getting off the field on fourth down for you guys. You make a couple plays there, and maybe it's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we came out really well to start the game. We go down, score, pop a big run, and then we get a 3-and-out immediately from them, but we don't capitalize on that. We get great field position, and then we have a 3-and-out ourselves. And then we get called for a holding call after we get a first down to really put us behind the chains. So then you get to the second half, and we struggle to get them off the field, and then we get them in a 3rd and long, and we didn't get a penalty called for a delay of game, which I lost my mind because it should have been. They shouldn't have reset the play clock. And the white hat goes, "Oh yeah, well, no, I reset it. I'm sorry."
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I screwed up, and I was like, okay. That would have made it 3rd and really long and probably had a shot to get off the field. But, credit Centennial and those 2 4 downs that we could have got them off the field and had a chance in a one-possession game. They made the play, and we didn't.
Yeah. But, I mean, just as, you said going into it, you guys felt like that you can compete with, Centennial. We talk about being able to compete against Centennial, Cruces, Hobbs. And you guys were right there in the game the whole way. If you get the 2-point conversion, who knows what happens after that. The onside kick was kind of close to being recovered too. So I mean, you guys were in it the whole way and had certainly had your opportunities. The offense again moves the ball well, and it was a little bit different this week. Nate really didn't get going, but Bryson, really was able to get going this week.
Yeah, and you go to those 2 missed extra points that were blocks. That's us blowing a blocking scheme up front. Then you go to us going for 2 to try to make it a one-possession game, and we just make a bad cut. I mean, we probably stay outside. We probably walk in the end zone. But that's the life we live with teenagers and having to make plays in that moment. And it is what it is at that point, and you just tip your hat to their kids for making the play and get our kids encouraged to keep playing and play the next play. Bryson had a good game. I mean, that credit goes to us up front. I don't think we played great up front. I think we played okay. We also were missing 2 starters up front, so – with that, I thought we played pretty well, considering how we ran the football. And then when Bryson broke 2 leads, and one was a 79-yarder, he did get joked around with that he didn't get caught that time. And then somebody says, well, that's 2nd quarter Bryson, not 4th quarter Bryson.
Poor Bryson.
Yeah, because he plays a lot. I mean, he's on the field the entire time, so we understand that. But Centennial had a good game plan. They were going to let Best beat them. They were going to do whatever they can to take the ball out of that kid's hands, which is a good game plan. And Best stepped up. Credit to our fullback, Jaden Valdez, played okay. Offensive line played okay. And Best made a couple of plays when we needed to keep us in it. We just couldn't get off the field in that 4th quarter with about 5 minutes left.
And it seemed like the defense almost there, almost in terms of having a great game, but just didn't have the stops when they needed to. But it seems like in a lot of places they really had a good game last week.
You go back and watch that film and you give up 42 points or whatever it was, and you're disappointed in the outcome for sure. But giving up 42 points, you're kind of sick to your stomach as well. But we're about a step behind in a lot of things, and then we get them in situations where we couldn't get them off the field and put them in a long yardage situation. And they've got good kids. I mean, that Ramirez kid is a stud. He made plays when they needed to, and I want to say, I told you he's going to touch it 20, 25 times. He touched it almost 30.
Yeah.
So that's a good football team. There's a reason why they're ranked number 3 in the state. I mean, it's frustrating on our end because we go up there and play really well against the top-tier team in the state, and have an opportunity to win. We just don't make enough plays to win that game, and that's the frustrating part with these guys is, yeah, we can beat certain people in the state, but we've got to get to that level where we can beat those other guys in the state.
Yeah, that was something I said afterwards is, the moral victories, hey, we competed well against a good team, that really doesn't seem to be enough for you guys anymore.
No, not with this group, for sure. Yeah. This group is really, we're trying to get them over that hump because it's not about just getting in the playoffs, it's about winning playoff games. And to do that, you're going to play top teams in the state. And we've proven that we can play with those teams. We got to limit the mistakes and then to capitalize on our opportunities to score points and get stops to give us a shot to win the game late in the 4th quarter.
Well, we've been talking all season about the games, needing to win, wanting to win, to be a playoff team. This is one of those this week against Carlsbad. But if you guys want to feel really secure about it, being Carlsbad and Clovis to make the playoffs, those are the 2 that you really need to get. So, a solid Carlsbad team that's been, they beat Oregon Mountain last week, kind of a similar score to you guys, and this is going to be certainly a challenge for you. This is a really solid team, and I'm sure they are massive up front.
They're not as big as you would think.
Not really. Okay, no. That's unusual for them.
This might be one of those games where we're the bigger guys.
Wow,
for
okay.
a lot of it. But, Carlsbad, we talked about it. We've known this is a big game all year. We told our kids on Monday they got to win 2 of the next 3 to really solidify their playoff chances. And everybody was asking me, is this the biggest game of the year? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's the game on Friday. I mean, last week against Centennial, the biggest game of the year was against Centennial. And next week, the biggest game of the year will be against Cruces. So, yeah, it's a big game in that regard. We still have those blinders on and only focus on the week ahead of us. But Carlsbad's a good team. They're well coached. I've known Coach Sanders for a long time. He's an old Roswell boy, even though he went to the other side of town. Went to college with them, played at Eastern with them. He's done a really good job of getting those skilled kids, and they've got some speed to burn. I mean, they got some skilled kids that can go. They got a big play receiver in Bobby Castaneda, number 6, that can blow the top off coverage, and they take vertical shots with him 4 or 5 times a game, and he's probably one of the better ones in the state. You go to their quarterback, number 14, Marley Munoz, a real good athlete with a cannon of an arm but can run. And I don't say he's the best runner we faced, but he might have the best arm we played all year. But they do include him in the run game and let him go. Big, powerful running back in Brock Wright, number 27, that's downhill, strong. He played against us last year. He's a big physical kid and runs behind his pads really well. So defensively, we've got to rally to the ball tackle. And I think this kind of matchup's a little bit better with us because they're not going to necessarily just put 7-8 guys in the box and kind of physically try to take advantage of us. So we get our kids in space and let them run. Hopefully we can run around, make some plays, and cause some turnovers.
And this has been a game that has been super competitive and really close pretty much every year that this has been a district game over the last few seasons. And so it's, like we talked about last week, sometimes the little things, it very much could be the little things for you guys. But you feel obviously with what you do both offensively and defensively, it's you guys can get this football game at home on Friday night.
And this is our 4th time playing them in this district. And I want to say the first year they beat us by 1 possession over there. We beat them here at home, and then last year they beat us by 5 over there, and we had the ball inside the 10 with under a minute to go and couldn't score. And it's just those little things. Those 2 losses have been young kids having to grow up and making mistakes when they didn't need to and making the wrong decisions at certain times in the game. But it's always a very competitive game. It's a fun game for anybody that's there. It's a knockdown, drag out, and they're going to be physical with us. They got some explosiveness. They're going to hit some big plays. We're going to hit big plays. I thought we've had a really good week offensively. I thought our offensive staff did a good job scheming some stuff to take advantage of them. But it's going to be a fun game, and this is going to be one of those games that it's probably going to be a better game than us against Roswell. It's going to be a better game than us against Morgan Mountain if people got nothing to do on Friday night. Come watch a really good football game between two quality 6A football programs.
Yeah, and it should be noted, they are in the exact same boat as you guys in terms of what they're looking at their schedule and making the postseason. So it is, I mean, in so many ways, a mirror of each other in a lot of ways for the two teams. Now, maybe not what you guys do scheme-wise and things like that, but the mindset, I would imagine, is almost exactly the same.
They're in the same boat. They're in the same boat. They've got to win 2 of their next 3, and one's got to be against us. And then they've got Cruces and Hobbs, and then a bye week. So they've got to come through and win 2 of those next 3 games for them as well. So I know Coach Sanders and his staff are preaching the same thing we are. Focus on this week. It's a big game. We got to try to make sure we play well, get out of here healthy, and we got a short week again next week. And then try to survive and get to that bye week with a record of 5-3 or 6-3.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Looks like it should be a beautiful night tomorrow. So looking forward to some fantastic Friday night football. It is the last Friday night game of the year in the regular season. So get out there and have some fun. And we had a huge crowd for homecoming, the last home game. Hopefully we can replicate that.
It was the kind of sad part is only 4 home games, and this is the last Friday night game of the year. And like I said, if we take care of our business the rest of the way, we have a shot to host a playoff game, but there's no guarantees in that ever happening. So we encourage people to come out and not just watch a football game, enjoy the atmosphere, but enjoy being around other members of this community who are supporting kids and supporting our high school here in this community. So get everybody out here. It's going to be a fun night, good weather, nice and cool. Kind of feels like October football again finally. So it's an exciting time. It's going to be a fun one.
All right. Good luck, Coach. We'll see you Friday.
Man. Thanks. Go Tigers.